Picture this. You are standing in a parking lot. On your left, a brand new Rimac Nevera, nearly 2,000 horsepower, all electric, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. On your right, a Ferrari that was built over a decade ago, 950 horsepower, a screaming, naturally aspirated V12. And here's the crazy part. That old Ferrari? It might still give the Nevera a run for its money. Not because of raw numbers, but because of something far more dangerous than numbers. Today, we are talking about the LaFerrari, and we are asking one question that the entire hypercar world is afraid to answer. In 2026, is the LaFerrari still relevant? Or has time finally caught up to the most legendary Ferrari ever built? Let's go back to 2013. Ferrari walks into the Geneva Motor Show. No camouflage, no teaser, just this absolutely violent, low-slung carbon fiber machine that looked like it came from the future. They called it LaFerrari, which in Italian literally means the Ferrari, not a Ferrari. The Ferrari. Like, this is it. This is the one. The statement was bold, arrogant even. But Ferrari had the receipts to back it up. The heart of this car is a 6.3-liter V12 engine, naturally aspirated. No turbos, no shortcuts. Just pure mechanical fury spinning all the way to 9,250 revolutions per minute. Alone, that V12 makes 789 horsepower. But Ferrari was not done. They pulled directly from their Formula One program and bolted on a kinetic energy recovery electric motor, producing an additional 161 horsepower. Total, 950 combined horsepower, sent exclusively to the rear wheels through a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. 0 to 124 miles per hour in under 7 seconds. Top speed in excess of 217 miles per hour. Quarter mile in 9.7 seconds at 149 miles per hour. Faster than the Bugatti Veyron at the time. And at Ferrari's own private Fiorano test track, the LaFerrari set a lap time of 1 minute and 19.7 seconds. 5 seconds faster than the Enzo. 5 whole seconds. Ferrari built exactly 499 coupes, and they did not even let you apply to buy one. Ferrari hand-selected its most loyal, high-profile clients. You had to be chosen. You could be a billionaire and still get rejected. That is not a car. That is a membership to a club that does not want most people. Original price was around $1.3 to $1.5 million. Today, in 2026, a LaFerrari coupe on the market averages over $4 million. An Aperta, the open-top version limited to just 210 units, has sold at auction for over $6 million. One lightly used example was listed at $7.5 million. A car that Ferrari originally sold you for $1.4 million is now worth 5 times that. Let that sink in. Now let's get to the real question, because 2026 is a brutal year for legacy hypercars. The Rimac Nevera hits you with 1,914 horsepower from 4 electric motors. It does 0 to 60 in 1.74 seconds. It ran a quarter mile in 8.58 seconds. On pure numbers, it embarrasses almost everything ever built. If you drag race a Nevera against a LaFerrari, the Nevera is gone before the Ferrari's V12 even finishes its startup song. Then there is the Bugatti Chiron, 1,500 horsepower from a quad turbocharged W16 engine. Top speed of 261 miles per hour. The Chiron does 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds, same as the LaFerrari, but then just keeps pulling into a completely different stratosphere of speed. At 200 miles per hour, the LaFerrari is working hard. The Chiron is cruising. Koenigsegg Jesko runs on E85 fuel and produces 1,600 horsepower. It uses a 9-speed multi-clutch transmission that can skip gears instantly. Straight-line performance that makes most hypercars look like they are standing still. And here's the gut punch: Ferrari's own SF90 Strodale, a car you can actually buy today for a fraction of the LaFerrari's current market price, makes 986 horsepower from a twin-turbo V, 8 and 3 electric motors. It does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Ferrari essentially built a faster, more technologically advanced, more practical car, and made it accessible. So on paper, the LaFerrari loses. The numbers say it should be irrelevant. But here is what the numbers do not tell you. The LaFerrari is not a fast car that happens to be a Ferrari. It is an experience that happens to be fast. That 6.3-liter V12 screaming toward 9,250 revolutions per minute produces a sound that electric motors will never, ever replicate. The Rimac Nevera is faster, but it is silent. And silence in a hypercar feels wrong. It feels like watching a lightning bolt that makes no thunder. The steering in the LaFerrari is not power-assisted in the traditional sense. It communicates. Every surface, every grip level, every millimeter of road texture travels through the steering column directly into your hands. Modern hypercars are getting smarter, more filtered, more digitally mediated. The LaFerrari is raw in a way that nothing being produced in 2026 is willing to be. And the driving position? Ferrari borrowed directly from their Formula One engineers. The seat is fixed. The steering wheel and pedal box adjust to the driver. Your body is part of the car, not a passenger. Not a passenger being chauffeur-driven by software, an actual pilot. The active aerodynamics constantly adjust the front splitter, the rear spoiler, and the undercarriage panels to deliver between 200 and 800 pounds of downforce, depending on speed and situation. No buttons, no modes to flip through. The car reads the road and reacts. In 2013, that was science fiction. In 2026, that logic is now everywhere. But the LaFerrari pioneered it on a Ferrari road car. Here is the bigger truth about why the LaFerrari is not dead. It is actually more alive than it has ever been. We are entering an era where every hypercar is turbocharged, hybridized, or fully electric. Where power figures are becoming meaningless because everyone has 1,000 horsepower. Where the cars are getting so capable that the driver feels less important, less involved, less human. The LaFerrari sits at a crossroads. It was Ferrari's very first hybrid road car. It proved that electrification could make a car more emotional, not less. But it never let the technology get in the way of the connection. It never crossed the line into appliance territory. It stayed on the side of the driver. And that is why collectors are paying $4, $5, $6 million for one right now. Not because it is the fastest thing you can buy, but because it might be the last thing that felt truly alive before the machines took over. The LaFerrari does not destroy modern hypercars in a straight line in 2026, but it destroys something far more valuable: the idea that progress always means better. Sometimes the old way was the right way, and sometimes 950 horsepower with a naturally aspirated V12, a hand-selected owner list, and a lap time that embarrassed the Enzo is enough to make every brand new hypercar feel just a little bit ordinary by comparison. So what do you think? Is the LaFerrari still the greatest hypercar ever built? Or has time finally moved on? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if you want to see us put the LaFerrari against the SF90 Strodale to settle the Ferrari versus Ferrari debate, smash that like button and subscribe, because that video is coming. Do not miss it.